Hi everybody, I'm Nancy, owner and innkeeper of Olde Square Inn Bed and Breakfast in Mount Joy, Pennsylvania in beautiful Lancaster County. And today I wanted to share a recipe with you. It's our delicious caramel sauce, and it's so easy, it only takes 3 ingredients. Right now I'm standing in my kitchen in the bed and breakfast. Be sure you wash your hands first. I already did. There's my little tiny prep sink behind me. Isn't that cute? Love that. Anyway, we'll start with our pan. You want to turn that up to about medium heat, and I'll have the recipe for you on my website also. You're going to start with 3 tablespoons of butter. I'm going to let that melt a little bit, and I'm going to get my brown sugar ready. We're going to need a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and you probably already know that when you measure brown sugar, you want to be sure that's packed. Here's the great thing about this recipe. It's not like a cake where everything has to be exact. You can fudge on it a little bit. So if you have a little too much brown sugar, a little too much butter, doesn't matter. This isn't chemistry cooking. This is just pure deliciosity. So I'm melting my butter together in the pan with the brown sugar. I want to get that stirred around a little bit, make sure it's nice and smooth. And then when this gets melted and combined, I'm going to add in the liquid. And what I really like to use is brandy, because I think that is just the trifecta of cooking. Butter, brown sugar, and brandy doesn't get any better than that, right? But I think today I'm going to try something different. And if you don't want to use the alcohol, that's no problem. Although you know that when you cook with alcohol, the alcohol cooks out and you're just left with the flavor. We're getting our butter going. And right now this is very granular. I don't know if you can see that. And what this is one of my favorite things to make, because you can put it on top of bananas, you can put it on top of apples, you can put it on store-bought brownies. You can lick it out of the pan if you want. Doesn't make a whole lot of difference. All right, so my butter is melting, and I'm going to get my liquid ready. And I think I want to use, since I'm out of brandy today, I think I'm going to use some cranberry orange vodka. Probably put in about a 1/4 cup of that. Nice thing about cooking at home also is you can test it if you want to. That makes it pretty delicious. And if I had a cup right here, I'd be testing that baby, you better be sure. All right, so my butter is melting. My brown sugar is cooking up, and this is bubbling a little bit, and that's okay. But what you don't want to do is walk away from this, because if you do, like I did before, you can turn this into a big smoky mess burned in the bottom of the pan. But if that happens, don't cry about it. Just throw it out on the back porch and try it again. All right, can you see how that is kind of nice and bubbly? Now I'm going to add the liquid. Here's my 1/4 cup of cranberry orange vodka. Oh, that looks so good. And it'll take a few minutes for this liquid to cook down. And today, I have some pound cake that I'm going to be pouring this on later. And I'm going to top that off with a scoop of vanilla ice cream. Then some of this caramel sauce made with the cranberry orange vodka. Probably put some whipped cream on top of that. Doesn't that sound delicious? All right, this is bubbling up just the way I want it to bubble up. You can probably see that from the video. My sister came to visit me from Arizona. And when she looked around my kitchen, she said, "You make all your food in that kitchen?" This is really kind of a cool place. It's the house was built right after World War I. We have the original floor plans from 1917, but the kitchen doesn't have a whole lot of counter space. You're about looking at all there is right now. Yep, we do it all here. in this tiny little kitchen. Next time you come to visit me, I'll show you this little back space. All right, so this is nice and bubbly because I have the heat up nice and high. It's getting nice and caramely. Looks delicious. Now, if this starts to get too thick for you, don't be afraid. You can add a little more liquid, and like I said, it doesn't have to be liquor. Orange juice is awesome, or even that liquid that you get with maraschino cherries. I know those are gross, but the liquid is awesome. All right, and this looks just about done. See, you can whip this up in no time, and people are going to think you're a genius. And again, you're using 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of butter. You're going to let that melt, and you're going to pour in about 1/4 cup of liquid. And then let this cool down. Sometimes as this cools down, it gets a little bit thick, and that's no problem. Just heat it up and get it liquidy again. All right, that looks fantastic. And of course, any good cook has to test what she's cooking, right? That is so good. All right, let me know how that works out for you. And until next time, I am Nancy, owner and innkeeper of Olde Square Inn Bed and Breakfast in beautiful Mount Joy, Pennsylvania in Lancaster County. See you again. Bye-bye.